let this be.
Welcome to another episode. Welcome to another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I am your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you that gospel of Gamecocks every single day. You're not rocking with the best. And since you are rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. We got a good one today, y'all. I said we got a good one today, y'all. We are going to do an analysis of where the Gamecocks are sitting after 8 basketball games. The South Carolina Gamecocks are 7-1 and just beat up on Purdue and just beat up on Iowa State. And the Carolina Gamecocks are starting to round into shape of the team that we thought they were going to be. And before we get started, I want to thank everyone for tuning in. I appreciate the love. I thank you for all the day ones. Thank you for the day twos. Thank you for everybody who are just tuning in and just found your man, Captain Will, on his YouTube channel. And follow me on Twitter at Gamecocks Talk. Follow me on Instagram at Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. Follow me wherever you may be getting your podcast. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, all of them. You can find Captain Will. So the Gamecocks right now are 7-1. 7-1 through 8 basketball games. We are currently ranked 3rd in the AP poll. We are currently ranked number 1 in net ranking. I talk about net ranking a lot because that's the only poll that matters to me. And it's like, Cap, how are they number 1 in net ranking? Well, it's called a strength of schedule. Strength of schedule for South Carolina Gamecocks is 2nd in the country. 2nd in the country, playing multiple teams that are in the quadrant 1 or quadrant 2. So even though Carolina lost to UCLA by 15, by net ranking, Carolina is still number 1. Okay? Strength of schedule means a lot. It means a lot to me, especially now, with the football team possibly making the playoffs. It's just, and we'll find out more about that tonight at 7:00. It's just every schedule isn't made easy. Every schedule isn't the same. Every schedule needs to be nitpicked and deciphered because 8-0 from a team that is ranked very high, but has not played anyone, doesn't mean nothing to me. It don't mean nothing to me. It means nothing to me at all. It just tells me that, okay, y'all have some soft teams in your schedule. Carolina's playing Duke in 2 days. Carolina's playing TCU on Sunday. That means something to me if we're talking about strengths of schedule. Okay? Carolina's not ducking anybody ever. 7-1 is 7-1. We won't be undefeated. Okay. But we ain't going to be sitting around waiting on a junior college to play either. Okay? Carolina is playing some crazy teams early in the schedule. That's only going to make us better in March. Or for that matter, when the conference starts. Carolina right now has a 17th overall offensive rating. Last time before we played Iowa State, before we played Purdue, we had an offensive rating of 47. So we went from 47 to 17 in terms of offensive rating for all the schools, the 361 schools in Division I. Offensive rating improved from 108.5 to 112.7. The offense is starting to round into shape, y'all. It's starting to round into shape. In terms of the defensive rating got better too. Went from 29th to 26th. Defensive rating dropped from 76.5 to 76.3. Just a minimal drop. But this is starting to happen, y'all. Y'all have seen it. We have seen this Gamecock defense improve over the last 2 games. I expect the same thing against Duke on Thursday. Same thing. Offensive rebounding percentage went from 12th in the country at 43.3% to 6th in the country at 45.8%. Offensive rebounding percentage is so big to me. And you have a player like a Chloe Kitts who's rebounding the basketball well. You have Joyce Edwards who's rebounding the basketball well. Ashlyn Watkins, Sania Feagin doing so wonderful with offensive rebounds. I want our team to be number one in offensive rebounds because that means that we are getting those second chance shots. And if we get those second chance shots, that gives us another opportunity to get fouled or to finish at the basket. Defensive rebounding percentage went from 57th in the country to 39th in the country. We destroyed Purdue in terms of rebounding. By 30, 56 to 26. That's unreal. That's unreal. And our defensive rebounding percentage right now is 74.9. Previously, it was 74.1. The post that we discussed, or how can I say? I ain't gonna say we discussed. We lamented the fact we kind of say, okay, the post player is gonna take some time to develop and get connected and well-rounded and things like that, because every time we watch a basketball game on television, you're hearing about, oh, we missed Kamilla Cardozo. Oh, we missed Kamilla Cardozo. Oh, yeah. Okay, we missed Kamilla Cardozo. But I don't remember the same thing happening when when Aaliyah Boston was gone and Victoria Saxton was gone, and those 5 picks were going to the W. I don't remember that on the telecast, on any of those media outlets. They say, "Oh, Carolina missed Aaliyah Boston. Oh, we missed Aaliyah Boston." I didn't remember that as much as it is talking about we missed Kamilla Cardozo. I don't remember. Maybe it happened. I don't remember. Maybe I got a brain cramp, but I just don't remember them saying it because it seems like every time they are talking about missing Kamilla Cardozo. Get a new narrative. The post players are going to be fine. Carolina post players will be fine. Trust and believe. Trust and believe. Total rebound percentage went from 14th in the country to 9th in the country. South Carolina is improving their rebound percentage. They're improving the rebound percentage. It was at 58.1%. Now it's 59.5%. Getting better and better and better. That means that our bigs are controlling the basketball more and more on the offensive end and the defensive end. That is great for Carolina. That is so uplifting, especially when you are through 8 basketball games, you're playing the number 2 overall strength of schedule. So after Thursday is going to be the number 1 overall strength of schedule. And then, of course, with TCU on Sunday. And then we get a little lapse, to kind of, regroup after playing all these tough games. Okay? Because we back on the road in Texas, Longhorn State, playing TCU. And they're undefeated. Block percentage is pretty much the same. We're averaging about 5.5, 5.6 blocks per game. And the blocks are looking different now. You're getting multiple players getting multiple blocks. And I'm not going to say we're not a dominant shot blocking team yet, but it just looks different. It just looks different. Field goal percentage went from 82nd to 60th. Field goal percentage after 8 games is now 44.6%. Previously, before the Purdue game, it was 44.1%. It's improving. It's not where it was last season. It's not. But right now, we are 60th in terms of field goal percentage. We got to get in the top 20 in field goal percentage in order for us to look like how we did last season. 2-point percentage is getting a little better. We're 114th. We were 138th. Okay? Still got a lot of work to do in 2-point percentage for this basketball team. Okay? And in terms of 3-point shooting, we actually went down. We went down from 53rd to 74th. 3-point line has not been favorable to us just yet. We only shooting 34.2%. Last season, we shot 39.5% and was number 3 in the country. We have some work to do in terms of 3-point shooting. Overall, I mean, you got Powell shooting 44%. You got Tessa's shooting 58%. So those two players are shooting the rock crazy from the three-point line. But we have some other players who are not shooting the ball as well as they did last season, and it's dragging that three-point percentage down. As those players get hot and get better, that percentage will go up. Come on. I expect Tessa to shoot like she's shooting. All of us expect that. I expect Powell to shoot like she's shooting. All of us expect that. But it's the ones that we are not expecting. It's the ones that the players who shot the ball well, a la Raven Johnson, who shot the ball well for the three at 35%. Bree Hall, who shot the ball well at 39%. MiLaysia Fulwiley, who shot the ball well last season at 34%, 35%. Maryam Dauda shot the ball well at 34%. Those players aren't shooting the rock as well just yet, but they will. They will. Not worried about that at all. Not worried. Assists, we're getting better with assists. We're not as good of an assist team as we were last year. Right now, we're 73rd last. Before the Purdue game, we was 81st. We averaged about 15 assists per game. That needs to go up. That needs to go up. When you have point guards like Raven and Powell and now Maddy, we have to find easier ways to get it to the post players and for our post players to actually finish the layup or the tip in or what have you. They have to finish, and then because we missed several, quote unquote easy shots that I believe that will happen, that will happen and get better over the season. Right now, just not. Right now, we are missing a lot of layups that would have been assists. Eventually, that's going to change, and we will be those assist numbers will go up, and it'll be similar to last season. But with turnovers, last game against Purdue, we had, I believe, 3 turnovers. We are 10th in the country. 10th in the country in regards to turnovers per basketball game. We average about 11.6 turnovers per game. Last season, we averaged 13. We are taking care of the ball very well. You have several players on this basketball team that is averaging 1 turnover or less per game. And with Maddy doing that, with Bree doing that, taking care of the ball in greatness, Powell, it's several players on this team that are really taking care of the ball, which helps our assist to turnover ratio, which we are now 21st. We were 35th before the Purdue game. If we continue the rises that we are doing right now in terms of taking care of the ball and increasing our assists, we will get back to how a great top 10 type assist to turnover ratio that we normally are. Currently, we're 21st. That improved from 35th. Currently, we are getting 1.30 assists to 1 turnover per game. That is really good. That needs to improve even higher, and I believe it will. Our defense is getting better and better. We went from 68th to 30th in terms of field goal percentage allowed. Carolina's doing very well, y'all. Carolina's doing very well. And the last 2 games, our defense was straight up crazy. Straight up crazy. 2-point percentage allowed, 12th in the country at 35.7%. 3-point percentage allowed, 246 at 33%. Steals per game, 41st, 10.8 steals per game right now. This previous game, we had 13 steals. 13 steals against Purdue. That is crazy. They had 20 turnovers. 20 turnovers. We had it's starting to look good, y'all. It's starting to look like Carolina. So the narrative of Carolina, the doom and gloom, and the potential downfall of South Carolina was grossly overstated. It really was. And you had a lot of teams who was looking at Carolina and saying, "Okay, we could do something now." And one of those teams lost 2 times over the past 4-5 days. Okay, one of those teams did. We ain't got to say the name, but they lost. They did. And if we talk about analytically speaking, and so far the best, 5 basketball players on our basketball team over the course of, 8 games, it's really cool. It's really cool to have conversation of who's the best, because when you have so many players that are really good on a basketball team, you just like, almost like, what do you do? Because you are literally having so many players that could start for so many teams. It's a gluttony, y'all. It is a straight up gluttony of riches for the South Carolina women's basketball team. I just have to laugh sometimes, man. I just gotta laugh because is when you look at other teams who are afraid to dig into their bench, and then you see Carolina who aren't afraid because their players are top tier players. Sometimes you just gotta laugh. You just gotta laugh. Like, yo, okay. Apparently we didn't recruit as well, even though the recruiting ranking says what it is, because we're only gonna stick with 6 or 7 players. Okay. When then Carolina takes out 5 and put in another 5, it just messes with your mind. And if we talk about strictly analytically, through 8 basketball games, the player with the highest net ranking on our team right now, as it's currently constructed, okay, is actually Maddy McDaniel. And I had to do my formulas a couple of times just to make sure it was right, because is Maddy McDaniel, Mighty Mouse herself, analytically speaking, having the best season for our Gamecocks? I was bugging. I was tripping. Maddy's averaging 18 minutes. Okay, so we have a lot of players on this team that are averaging 15 to 20 minutes per game. And Maddy's averaging 18 minutes, getting 5 points. Of those 5 points, she's shooting 65% from the field. 65% from the field. 2 rebounds. 4 assists. 1 steal. 1 turnover. Maddy has an offensive rating of 147.2. She has the highest offensive rating on this basketball team through 9 games or 8 games. Through 8 games, the highest offensive rating. It has a defensive rating of 79.0. Y'all see it with your own eyes. You see what happens when she gets in the basketball game. The speed picks up. She takes care of the ball. She can drive to the basket and finish. I'm just overwhelmed in seeing what Maddy is doing over 8 basketball games. The second best player on this basketball team, analytically speaking, is Ashlyn Watkins. And Ashlyn Watkins obviously had a slow start due to circumstances, but right now she's averaging 19 minutes, 8 points, shooting 49% for the field, 6 rebounds, 1 assist, 2 steals, 1 block, and 1 turnover per basketball game. Her offensive rating is 123.8. Her defensive rating is 69, which is right along what she did as a freshman and as a sophomore. Her offensive rating is the highest in her 3 years at the University of South Carolina. Highest of her career. So she is figuring it out offensively. She is always going to figure it out defensively. That's what she does. But if she maintains this pace and continues to get better and better and better, I mean, come on, y'all. The sky's the limit for Ashlyn Watkins. The sky's the limit for every player on this team. But for Ashlyn Watkins in particular, because we only had one quote-unquote gimme game, and that was against Compton State. We played multiple Power 5 teams. When we start playing some Charleston Southerns and we get some of these squads that some of these other top 10 teams have played and kind of stat pad, so to speak, these numbers going to look so crazy. You're not stat padding against Iowa State, but we won big. You're not stat padding against Duke on Thursday. You're not. Will we win big? I don't know. But you're talking about 2 top two top 7 teams that can be playing against each other. Are we going to stat pad against TCU? Probably not. That's another top 15 type, team. But eventually we're going to play some teams where we would have that edge in terms of more. I can't even say our players playing more because they play a lot every single game. They do. In terms of the third analytically best player right now, it's Tessa Johnson. Tea time with Tessa, tournament Tessa is averaging 21 minutes, 10 points, shooting 49% from the field, shooting 55% from 3. Okay? Averaging 2 rebounds, 1 assist, 1 steal, 1 block, and 1 turnover. Tessa has an offensive rating of 131.9. Tessa has a defensive rating of 85. Okay? Right now, she's 7th in the SEC in box plus minus. She's 8th in the SEC in offensive box plus minus. Means she's doing it from an SEC standard. And this is a player who's not playing 35 minutes a game. You're talking about 21 minutes per game. And the way it's constructed right now, that is off the bench. The first 3 players I mentioned that are analytically speaking come off the bench, averaging 18, 19, and 21 minutes. Something to think about. 4th, Chloe Kitts. Chloe Kitts is having a sensational year. Okay. 11 points, 8 rebounds, leading the team in rebounds. She's shooting 51% from the field. 1 assist, 1 steal. Okay. 2 turnovers. 120.6 offensive rating. Has a defensive rating of 73. She's 7th in the SEC in total offensive rebounds. This is Chloe. 7th in the conference in total offensive rebounds while getting less than 20 minutes per game. Make no mistake about it. These awards, people, media folks, are going to have to analyze Carolina different going forward. Because if you have a situation like Carolina has right now, where everybody's playing a little bit, but they're putting up crazy numbers, I really think that you have to they have this stat on analytics where it says per 40 minutes. I really think that's how you got to judge Carolina. You have to, on the basis of if Carolina played 40 minutes versus some of these other teams per 40 minutes. And after 10 games, I'm going to do my own top all SEC first and second team, and I'm going to use a formula of per 40 minutes. That's the only way it's fair. It's the only way it's fair. I don't understand why the media folks don't do that in the first place. I see all these quote-unquote wonderful, great players on these other basketball teams because they're playing more. That don't make you better than Carolina. That don't make it better. In order to make everything even, just put everybody per 40 minutes, and that changes the game. It changes the game. So analytically and stat construction makes everything even. That's all we want. We just want our fair share, because Carolina's never going to get the fair share in terms of All-Americans, SEC, and all this crap, because we only playing 19, 20, 21 minutes per game. One player that's not playing 19, 20, 21 minutes a game is Te-Hina Paopao. Tina is averaging 26 minutes. She's averaging 12 points, 49% from the field, 44% from 3, 2 rebounds, 3 assists, 1 steal, and only 1 turnover. Te-Hina Paopao has an offensive rating of 128.1. She has her best defensive rating of 83.1. She is one of the best, if not the best, all-around player in the SEC. She is. She's 6th in the conference in terms of offensive rating, and she's 8th in the conference in terms of turnover percentage. That means she don't turn the ball over, while also shooting 49% from the field and 44% from 3. Te-Hina Paopao is in the conversation of having her best overall statistically year. That's the first thing. Secondly, having the best overall numbers, not by volume, by quantity in the conference and in the country, offensively and defensively. Our Gamecocks are trending upwards. Continue to watch. We'll continue to talk about it. And we will continue to bring the best of Gamecock women's basketball. This concludes another episode of Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will. I'm your man, Captain Will. Make sure you like, make sure you share, make sure you subscribe to Gamecocks Talk with Captain Will so I continue to bring you the gospel of Gamecocks every single day. You are now rocking with the best. And since you are rocking with the best, come rock with your man, Captain Will. Let's go. Let's
Oh, J-Rock did this beat.